Hello YouTube! I just wanted to do a quick video showcasing the Hunter build that I'm going to be bringing into the Day 1 raid. So just to start off, give you a quick breakdown of the weapons that I'm going to be bringing in, the subclass and fragment choices, and then I'll talk about all of the different armor selections that I've made. So let's just start with the weapons here. So first thing to know, everybody said it a million times, but blinding grenades are still incredible. They got a 15% damage reduction coming into Witch Queen, but you're not really using them for damage. You're using them to blind the ads so they can't shoot you back. So this is my God roll ignition code. It took me so many Umbral engrams to get, but finally it dropped for me. So I got Slide Shot, Frenzy for the extra reload speed, and blinding grenades. And this roll is just incredible. I think it's the best blinding grenade in the game. Then in the energy slot, I have two other blinding grenade options, one of them being the Empty Vessel, which is a solar blinding grenade, and then one being the Truth Teller, which is a void blinding grenade. So I have a couple different elemental options for running blinding nades. Beyond that, in any kind of end game PvE content, I find pulse rifles really just be the best option to, kind of like that range option where you can peek shoot, you can stay safe, but you can still put in meaningful damage. So I got this Peace of Mind here, just Overflow Focus Fury, which is a role I've actually really been enjoying. Gonna be bringing that in. Then I brought this Persis D Scout Rifle, the brand new Stasis Scout Rifle, and the role I got is Rapid Hit Vorpal, which I think is an absolutely incredible role if we're dealing with a lot of anti-barrier champions at range, because that Vorpal weapon will just help us crack that barrier shield way faster. So if there's ever super long range encounters, probably be the weapon I'm slapping on. I also got Sniper here, Thoughtless. Not an insane roll, but I think really great perk on snipers is Firing Line, because when you're doing different endgame PvE content, you're going to be staying with your fire team a lot, so Firing Line just kind of procs all the time. Beyond that, the exotics I brought, standard Wither Horde. It's just an incredible exotic. It's, the new Anarchy, I would say. It lets you put in damage while you're not exposed to enemy fire, so you can use it to block choke points. You can use it to damage champions. It's just an incredible weapon, and the catalyst gives it auto-loading, so it's just definitely a no-brainer. Isnagi's Burner is, went through a lot of serious nerfs, but it's still an incredible weapon for burst DPS boss fights. So, you can still do the classic, load your 4-time Izanagi, shoot it at the boss, swap to a rocket launcher, and, do a lot of burst damage all at once. So if there's ever a fight where we need that burst damage, I'll be using that. The other weapon that I think is going to be really strong is Outbreak Perfected. I feel like people are really sleeping on it. Coming into Witch Queen, the exotic weapons in general got a huge damage buff, but the pulse rifles also got a damage buff. So Outbreak has just been feeling incredible in any content where you're kind of under-leveled. So I think Outbreak is going to be kind of my secret pocket pick. And it can also use Unstoppable Pulse Rifle, so it also has that utility. And then the other weapon that I think is going to be extremely useful is Arbalist. So going into Witch Queen, I was talking with my Day 1 team, and everybody is so hyped about Void 3.0 and all these incredible Void builds, and I'll talk about that more when I go into the mod section. But Arbalist, I think, is going to be really great for breaking other types of elemental shields that aren't Void. You got that one Solar Knight that you got to break, or that one Arc Captain, or, anything like that. Arbalist is just an incredible weapon for breaking those other types of energy shields and not having to, sit there for 5 minutes and shoot it with your primary weapon and try to take it down. Then moving into the energy slot, kind of the same sentiment here. So, Void 3.0 is incredible, and the mod Volatile Flow is just absolutely insane, and all the Elemental Well stuff. So pretty much the majority of my daily drivers, if you'd say, weapons are going to be Void. So I have this Last Perdition that's just a great Void Pulse that I've been enjoying, and then Funnel Web is just, the new hotness for some machine guns. This isn't a particularly good role, but at the end of the day, I think Adrenaline Junkie will really come into play because spamming grenades. And then also I just have the Ikelos SMG because it's just, a great weapon for dealing with red bar ads. Surrounded is just an awesome perk, and yeah, it just puts in a lot of damage. as for special weapons, I already mentioned blinding grenades. They're awesome. I'm also going to bring in this Glacioclasm, this roll right here with Slide Shot and Reservoir Burst is really great for just clearing out, large groups of enemies. And with the Void stuff, there's just Void explosions going everywhere. So this is a really good roll for like stronger ad clear, I guess, or faster ad clear. Might be pulling that out. Then I also have this Dead Messenger. I feel like this weapon also kind of fits that niche of something that's still void damage because it has the Fundamentals perk, which, if you forget, reads press R to change this weapon's damage type between Solar, Arc, and Void. And so that's super good if you're dealing with different types of energy shields. You see a wizard, you swap to the element, break your shield, and then you can swap back. But you can also just keep it on Void and take benefit from all the Void stuff that's going on with the build. Beyond that, I just got a sniper, triple tap Vorpal sniper, in case I got to deal with some long range enemies. Might come into play. Then we get to the heavy slot, and Gjallarhorn is just an incredible weapon. It's good for damaging champions. The fact that you have 2 rockets in it, you can do crazy burst damage. It's good at ad clear. It's just a great all around weapon. And there's so many mods for rockets and artifacts, so great. Beyond that, I got a couple linear fusions, just Threaded Needle and Sleeper, in case I just kind of feel like I need that longer range DPS. They got really good sustain damage and ammo economy and stuff like that. I'm also bringing like a few legendary rockets. I got my Palmyra, auto-loading lasting impressions, an awesome craftable rocket, super flexible. Royal Entry. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get a auto-loading roll on this, but again, it's a Void rocket. It's going to do crazy good damage. And then I'm also going to be bringing in my Hothead with Explosive Light, because I feel like Explosive Light isn't as good, because I think there's a bug right now going on with Wolfpack rounds, so not as strong as Lasting Impressions, but if there's an encounter that I feel like I need it, I can pull it out and use it. And then kind of the secret sauce, Pocket Pick. Some people have been talking about it a bit, but Tractor Cannon is absolutely awesome. Not only does it like suppress enemies and make you do more damage, but it also pushes them away. So I think this is going to have a lot of utility in this raid if we have to face any light bearer champions or anything like that. Alright, so that's all the weapons. I'm just going to move on to the armor section. So the base build you see I have on right here is kind of my like team play focus build. The exotic of choice, Omnioculus. I think that with the introduction of Void 3.0, Omnioculus is absolutely incredible. The damage resist you get is 4 times damage resist, so it helps, full team survivability and stuff like that. The amount of smoke bombs you get back is also ridiculous, so you can just perma make your fire team invisible. And then using that in conjunctions with some of the stuff in the subclass here, I'll go over quick. Trapper's Ambush, Void aspect, lets me do that kind of like shatter dive animation, and it's a really big AoE invisibility, so I can help stealth my teammates and keep them alive. And then I also have Vanishing Step here, so if I'm trying to go in and get my melee back, I can kind of run close to some ads and dodge back and go invisible again and get my melee. So that's super good with the Gambler's Dodge. Beyond that, I've chose Vortex Nades. I feel like they're just kind of the best all-around grenade. Sucks stuff in, does a lot of damage. For fragments, I'm going with the one that makes my Vortex Nades last longer just to kill more stuff, get more Void explosions going. Echo of Persistence I feel like is super valuable, especially with Omnioculus. You're constantly going invisible, making your teammates invisible. Super good. I mean, minus 10 mobility is there, but you're just going to be invisible all the time anyway, so it's awesome. And then for the last one, I went just Echo of Time Dilation, just for pretty much the stats, I guess. I was looking at the other options. With my build right now, I don't really have enough discipline to choose the fragment that has the weaken effect. So yeah, I guess this is kind of what I landed on. When I was talking with my day 1 team, we were talking about all the Lucent Hive bearers and stuff like that, and we feel like there's probably going to be some type of Lucent Hive or something like that in the day 1 raid, which means that we're going to have to be running out of cover and going in and finishing. And so that's like kind of going to be my role on the team, is finishing those champions. The Omnioculus is, the option if I'm staying together, But the other build that I'm going to be bringing in, actually Assassin's Cowl. Assassin's Cowl is a really underrated exotic in my opinion. The perk here, Vanishing Execution. Powered melee, final blows grind visibly, and restore a portion of health and shields. That part's not huge on Void, but the second part, finishers and final blows against more powerful targets, increase the duration of the invisibility and the amount of health and shield restored. So, if we're fighting Lucent Hive and stuff like that, and we have to run in front of all the ads and finish them, I think this is going to be super clutch for getting in there, getting the finisher off, and living. And the mod I'm pairing with that is Reactive Pulse. So Reactive Pulse is a Charge with Light mod, which Charge with Light builds aren't really as good as Elemental Well builds right now. So I'm not really using it for the Charge with Light part, but the second part, gain a powerful overshield while performing your finisher, all that requires is that you have another arc mod socketed somewhere. I'm going to be using Momentum Transfer with this just because it's, great, damaging enemies with grenades, get my melee back, more invisibility. But yeah, so with this, when I go in for that finisher on the Lucent Hive or on their Ghost, I'm going to get a massive overshield. And so yeah, I'm going to be just really difficult to kill while I'm finishing, and then after I'm done finishing, I go invisible so I can get out and, get to safety again. The other thing I'm pairing with that is two different things on my cloak. First one being Special Finisher. This is going to be a mod that I kind of take on and off depending on if I think Tether's actually going to be good in the encounter or not, or if we're, really need a special ammo. But the Artifact mod, Lucent Finisher, is just going to be incredible. So what Lucent Finisher is kind of allowed is, anytime you finish a Hive Bearer or a Champion, you spawn heavy ammo for your allies. So this has made it so that I can run Assassin's Cowl now, and I don't need to run Aeons. Because before, the only way to really generate heavy ammo for your team, running Aeons, Aeon Swifts, and using the Sect of Insight, which is where you finish the Elite or Champions, you generate heavy ammo. So yeah, I mean, this Artifact mod is just incredible for keeping the ammo on the fire team up and keeping everybody full with ammo. Beyond that, I've kind of gone with just like a general well build, I guess. I'll go over my mods quickly. On the helmet, a couple ammo finders, Volatile Flow. It's an incredible artifact mod. When you pick up a Void Elemental Well, you get volatile rounds, and it just kills ads and just destroys stuff very quickly. Super strong. On the gloves here, I have the artifact gloves. So yeah, on this, Elemental Ordnance is the well mod of choice. Anytime I get grenade kills, I'm making more Void Elemental Wells, spamming the Elemental Wells out. Unstop Pulse, I can change this for whatever mods I need pretty freely. On the chest piece here, I've gone with the 3 damage resist types just to kind of start it off. This mod, Thermoclastic Shock Plating, is absolutely incredible in the artifact. You get solar and arc resist at the same time, so you can choose a void chest piece, swap void resist. So you have all 3 types of resist right off the bat. And I mean, depending on the encounter, if I'm getting wrecked by snipers or grenades, I can swap this up for sniper damage resist, concussive dampener as needed. And here I've gone with Reaping Wellmaker because when you're using Omnioculus, the amount of dodges and stuff you get is just crazy. So I can just dodge and just keep making elemental wells. Then with the boots here, real quick, Well of Tenacity. It's the new damage resist mod. So this just allows me to really be aggressive in the face of ads, and as long as I'm picking up those elemental wells, I'm getting the massive damage resist. And it's kind of the new protective light. It's the new way we stay alive in endgame content. And then another mod that I think is kind of underrated is Better Already, which is your health regen starts when you pick up an orb of power. So if we're popping supers and stuff and I'm getting low, I can just run over one of those orbs and just get my health back right away. And then yeah, I guess last thing to talk about is just flow quickly. Nothing too crazy here. I've gone with Font of Might, just because that'll give all my void weapons a damage buff. Whether I'm using the Funnel Web or Blast Perdition, any void weapon is just going to get a crazy good damage buff when I pick up the Void Elemental Wells. And then I just got Overload Grenades on here just because it's very annoying to deal with Overload champions when you're under level. So having this Overload Grenade, once you put in that first stun with a submachine gun or auto rifle, you can throw that Overload Grenade on the champion and it'll just kind of keep them stunned and keep them suppressed. I can also maybe swap to Suppressive Darkness. This mod was bugged for a time. I'm not sure if it's going to be fixed for the raid, but it'll add that weaken effect and just make things die that much more quickly. But yeah, this is kind of my overall build. I also just kind of have like Orpheus Rig here as a kind of pocket pick if there's ever an encounter where there's just crazy amounts of adds. With the Scorn, the Fanatic Strike comes to mind, and that last boss room where there's just adds pouring out. Orpheus Rig is just so strong for that, for just kind of suppressing the adds and controlling them in your fire team alive. I got 6 Coyote here. Probably won't be using it, but it's just kind of there if there's any kind of weird puzzles and stuff where I'm on my own and I need to kind of figure out puzzles, stuff like that. And yeah, I got Aeons here as well. Probably won't be using them, but if there's an encounter where we're really dry for ammo and stuff, I might be swapping Aeons just to keep everybody's ammo full. Yeah, that's kind of the build rundown. Super excited to jump into the raid day 1. I'm going to be live streaming it all day, starting on Saturday, March 5th, 1 hour after reset. So if you want to come check it out live, you can see me at Beowulf Zux at twitch.tv. And yeah, best of luck to the raid, in the raid for everybody, and have yourself a wonderful day.